Thank you so much for joining me here today, Alyssa Arundell, for our May 2020 tarot card reading. I'm really honoured that you're spending your time with me here today, and for this month's reading, in ordinary circumstances, I'd like us to delve more into our relationships, into our finance, into our career. But the current climate really is dictating a lot of decisions we can make and a lot of things that we can do, and so because of this coronavirus, I thought that this month we could look more into our internal being and more about our spiritual path, more about our self-development. And that might sound a little bit boring to some of us, but really that inner journey, that inner dialogue is really going to help us navigate forwards in our lives. And so that is the intention that I'm putting onto the cards for this month. So without further ado, let's get into this month's reading to see what it holds for you. Hello Virgo, thank you so much for joining me for your May 2020 tarot card reading. Let's have a look at what's going on in your present situation. We have here a wonderful card. We have the Eight of Pentacles come up here. This is very much a card of study. It's a card of learning new skills. It's a card of mastering some skills in a way. So perhaps you receive a diploma or a degree of some kind that you've been waiting for. Perhaps this is an online class that you've mastered. I think this is really going to be very good for you. This is really going to be very good for you, Virgo, because it's allowing you to still achieve things you want to achieve. So I think some online classes or something like that is going to give you a real boost in your sense of pride and your sense of worth. The thing here that you have blocking you is this Queen of Swords energy. I don't feel that this is a block at all. I feel like this is something that you're coming into your own power. The Queen of Swords is someone who may be seen as a little bit icy or cold sometimes. You know, she is this air sign. She can rule with a steely, look in her eye, but she's very witty and she's very funny as well, and she has a great sense of humor and she can laugh when things go wrong. So I feel what this card is asking of you, if things don't quite go to plan, it's finding the humor in the situation. It's finding the humor in a situation that perhaps isn't funny. Perhaps a bit of dark humor is going to be needed to get you through this month in some ways. The card here that grounds you, so this is what you're built upon at the moment, is the Page of Swords. Maybe this is where you feel you are and this is where you want to get to. The Page of Swords can often represent a youth. It can be a youth that's going through a difficult time, so it could be a younger sibling, it could be a younger child in your life. When I say younger, I mean more adolescent type age. Someone who could be going through quite a difficult time at the moment. I feel like, Virgo, you could be a real helpful person to them. I feel like you could really give them a lot of support and a lot of advice in a kind way. So, just watch out for that young person in your life who may come to you for some support this month, because I think you're going to be the one that they turn to. And that's an honour in a way that they trust you. You have in the past here the Ten of Wands. This is very much a card of feeling burdened, about feeling overwhelmed. It can be, feeling like you've been dumped on in some way, people wanting too much from you, just not giving you help. It could be something as simple as around the home. Perhaps you're the one that's doing all the, dishes and the washing and you just want a bit of help. Or perhaps it's at work and, people are leaning on you too much. But this is a pass card, so I feel like this has got you down, but I don't feel like this is something that's going to be carrying on for much longer. Perhaps you've said your piece, Virgo. You have been heard. This is the card that's spiritually influencing you. You have the Three of Cups. Ordinarily, this would be a card of community. It would be about weddings, christenings, celebrations. Obviously, in the current climate, this may not be the case. So I think as a spiritual card, it's something that it could actually be, what I'm getting from this is your ancestors. I feel a bit of meditation would be quite good in getting in touch with the energy of your ancestors. I don't know, this is just what I'm getting psychically from this card. I feel like it's being more in tune with your family, but not in a physical way. This is very much about tuning in with people in an empathetic way, in a very telepathic way almost. I feel like these are some skills that you're actually going to really flourish in this month, Virgo. Let's have a look at your immediate future. We have the Magician. That's a wonderful card to come up. I think Cancer had this card as a in this placement as well. The Magician has, you know, all the tools ready on his table. He has swords, he has wands, he has pentacles, he has cups, and he's just figuring out how to use these tools to his advantage. So it's almost like when you're cooking and you're like having a bit of an experiment of which herbs and spices to use, and sometimes it tastes great and sometimes it doesn't work out. But I think this is a card of experimentation, Virgo. You're allowed to get a bit creative and experiment, because you never know what can come from that. Your state of mind here, wow, not the best of cards. We got the Eight of Swords here. The great thing about this card though is it's illusionary. So what do I mean by that? The Eight of Swords often means that we're trapped in a thought process that we've created ourselves. It is a self-created prison. It is something that we have, we're worrying about too much basically. There's a way out and you're not seeing the way out, but there is a way out. So, you know, please don't let this stress dictate your whole month, because it is something that is figure-outable. I really do believe that. But I do feel for you having this card, because it isn't the best card to get for your state of mind. It's worrisome, it's stressful. We don't want that. Let's see what else is coming up for us. So your outside influence is the Fool. Another major arcana card comes up for you here. I feel like maybe someone could give you some advice or spark you on to something new this month. I definitely feel a lot of this is to do with education. And that might sound boring, but I think it's about new skills. I think you're giving yourself time to learn something new. This could even be a musical instrument. It could be something as simple as that. I think you're going to get so much joy and pleasure from resetting the clock and just trying things you haven't tried before. The card that comes up as a hope or a fear is the Moon. You want the truth. You want the truth to come out this month. You don't want illusions. You don't want confusions anymore. You don't want any people in your life who are wishy-washy and aren't getting to the point. I think you just, this could be what this anxiety is about. It could involve this young person again. You just want to find out what is going on. And I think you will find out this month, but it's about allowing yourself to absorb that information and not get overstressed about it. It can also mean that you're very psychic this month, again, with this ancestral sort of spiritual realm card coming up for you. You could be getting some psychic insights in your dream state. It could be a good idea to keep a dream journal, because there could be messages that are coming through for you. The card that comes up for your outcome is the Three of Swords. Again, it isn't the best card, guys. I can't lie to you. The Three of Swords often represents loss of some kind. It can represent divorce. It can represent fallout, breakups. But usually it's things that weren't working anyway. So I feel like this can be a good thing for you. There can be some grief coming in at the end of this month. But this isn't a self-fulfilling prophecy, okay? I don't want you worrying all month thinking, oh, what am I going to lose? Because losses aren't always negatives in a way. They can feel like it, but sometimes they are for the best. So perhaps what you thought to be true isn't quite true. But, wouldn't you rather have the truth than to live in, this Truman Show, a lie? So I think a lot of things are going to come to the fore this month, but I think the things that are going to keep you going is your spirituality and your education and learning new skills and talents. I think that's going to really define you a lot this month, and is going to give you a great boost in confidence. Thank you so much again for joining me here today for your monthly reading. I'm really honoured that you spent the time with me. If you would, again, like to check out your free 3-card tarot reading, you can find the information in the description box beneath this video, as well as your own one-to-one personal reading with myself or even with Patrick. So until we speak again next month, I'm sending you many blessings and keep safe and well.